Hey, Gemini, thanks for dropping in with me. We're here to do the weekly dive into your collective energy just to see what's coming on this path and how you can step into the opportunities available for you in the most empowering way. This is for any Gemini placement, or if you happen to have a prominent placement in the third house. Also, if you're a Sagittarius rising, that makes you a Gemini descendant, and you can find a lot of resonance with these messages. I am working with the Tarot of the Dragons for you. So dragon coming in as a bit of a totem for you. So I do feel like there's a lot of protection around you at this time. There's a protection of your assets as well. Okay, some kind of riches, something that you've worked hard for that you want to preserve is being protected at this time. I also feel like there's just a lot of spiritual protection around you as well. I got this. Some of you may be into Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe you recently were getting together with friends for little Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Oh, you recently went rogue. Okay, good for you. It's coming in for Gemini. All right. Funny. Okay, let's dive right in and just see what's coming in for you. We are looking at this week's read through the lens of the Libra full moon that is going to be coming up on the 25th. It is a lunar eclipse, and it ties back to the last eclipse that went down in 2023 around October 28th. Okay, so there could be something coming back around the bend that's being revisited. We also have a new moon in Aries coming up on the 8th of April, and it's a total solar eclipse. And Libra and Aries are both the nodes of destiny, so we know that whatever is coming back around here, it's something that needs to be balanced out. Something needs to be transformed to really step up into the North Node, the destiny on offer. Destiny is just fate that we've taken the time to, do the work to transform and alchemize it, make it into the destiny that we hope it to be. It often requires that we have some kind of strength that we've cultivated. I am getting an initial download in with you, Gemini, that there is some challenge that you're overcoming from your past, all right? You're overcoming some challenge from your past, all right? And this is 5 of Cups in reverse. So there's something that was a real disappointment that went down in the past that you're having an opportunity to turn around now to your advantage. I just heard, okay? So this is some good energy coming in. I also like that with it in reverse, you're not looking back at the cups that were spilled. 3:33 on the clock. You're coming into this place of empowerment, alignment. I feel like help is at hand. I also feel like you're really in touch with your sources of spiritual support. Oh, 344 on the deck. You might feel a connection with angels. Angels on deck. You do have help navigating this. There's also a lot of synchronicity coming in that's lining things up for you in such a way that makes it very clear about the direction you should take in a particular situation. But I feel like all your focus is on the new, okay? All your focus is on this view of two, merging their energies together. So there's an opportunity for some kind of rebirth in the romantic department. This could even be reconciliation. Okay, so let's see what's coming in for Gemini in this regard. What guidance is coming in for Gemini? We also have Mercury retrograde coming in. I think we're in pre-shadow right now, or we're just about to move into it. So there's a lot of this like past energy sort of swinging around. Things that weren't closed properly are being revisited, or things that need to be addressed that weren't properly, held space for back there are coming back around. So everybody in the collective, no matter their sign, is dealing with this. We're just kind of seeing how this is playing out for you. I mean, I like to see you in this strong position. Yes, and this is very interesting with the Dragon Tarot. We have the 4 of Cups here, okay? So I do feel like there is some kind of healing that is desired in this situation. But what I really love to see about this particular interpretation of the 4 of Cups is I feel like you began first by pouring into yourself. So I like this. Instead of blaming, you know, the outside situation for what didn't go right back there, I feel like you're really stepping up into a place of personal accountability. You know that it doesn't help you to look at the healing work that other people need to do. You're like, no, I can only take charge of myself. And I do feel like you've done this. You've been really focusing on your own healing and coming into this strong position. There is some big transformation that you've gone through. I feel like you've really gone through some transformational healing process where you had to integrate a really difficult, disappointing experience. It's something where you felt a great sense of loss, but you got a hold of this, okay? And now I feel like what's coming forward is an opportunity to maybe heal a situation that really went left back there. Now, with your newfound understanding, with the new growth that you've obtained, do you want to take this opportunity to heal this connection? I mean, let's see what's coming in here, Gemini. What is coming in here for Gemini? It looks like some opportunity for renewal. A lot of people in the collective are getting this Ace of Cups opportunity. That's all the Ace of Cups is. It's not a promise of fulfillment. It's the potential for fulfillment if we do take up the cup and if we're willing to do the work. So let's see what's coming in here for Gemini. Looks like some opportunity to heal a connection where something really was disappointing in the past. Okay. We have the Chariot here. All right. So this is big, Cancer energy. This is an opportunity to move something forward in a new way. You may feel like kind of in two minds about moving this thing forward, though. I see that, okay? Because look, we have this real dualistic energy here. We have the white dragon on one side. We have the black dragon on the other side. So I feel like things are really polarized in this situation. You know, it's like no real understanding of the middle way yet. And I do feel like in order to move something forward in this situation, there does need to be a sense of compromise. But what might kind of be the problem is there seems to be a really strong central figure. It gives me like emperor kind of vibes. I think also because we're just entering into Aries season. So I do feel like this is front and center. This is going down right now. But there's somebody in this situation who does like to exercise a lot of control, and they want to be in charge of how things move forward, and maybe even in terms of a couple, okay? So there's something here that, you know, is kind of hanging like an umbrella over this situation. And I think of an umbrella, I think of rain falling, right? So maybe this figure has been a little bit of a dark cloud hanging over your situation. It's like, oh, well, they're protected from the storm. Meanwhile, you're in the thick of it and it's putting you at odds with another person. Okay, so there is a need to find the middle way to get through a situation. Tell me about this for Gemini. What do we got here? Ooh, we got the Empress, okay? So for the Empress, this could be a mother figure factoring strongly in this situation. It could be a baby's mama factoring strongly in this situation. Either way, I see you in this very strong position. You know your worth, you know your value. You could have hawk medicine coming in for you very strongly. So I do feel like a lot of synchronicities are lining up for you. I do feel like you're very in touch with your spiritual guidance. I also feel like you've gone through a lot of spiritual growth, and there's somebody here in the picture that you do feel like, no, we're on the same page. Like, I'm spiritually connected to this person, and I know that I'm supposed to be connected to them, right? And I think that you do have the ability to understand that you need to really approach maybe a particularly prickly kind of situation or difficult person who really has their guard up in such a way that you bring in a lot of gentleness and compassion, right? Again, this could be around a baby's mama, or this could be around a mother figure in this situation, okay? But there's some kind of growth, there's some kind of fertility, there's some kind of newness that you really want to make sure that you preserve in this situation. And I do see you're in a very empowered position, right? Very empowered. This looks really good. there is something that you're closing up here, and it is going to lead you to an alignment and a new beginning. It was 10:11 on the clock, right? 10:11, 10:11. October, November of last year might have been very significant. You could be dealing with a Libra in this situation. You could be dealing with a Scorpio in this situation. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, in particular an Ophiuchus, somebody that is born between November 30th and December 18th, okay? And there definitely could be like a family dynamic in play in this situation. I'm seeing that children could factor into this situation. So this could be like, how do we bring a family together in a way that feels harmonious, where everybody can be on the same page? And there's not just one person in this situation who thinks they get to call all the shots, because something's not fair here. And it's creating too much division. In order to bring this thing together, everybody's needs need to be considered. And this requires a gentle touch, not 11:22 on the clock, okay? So that's a clue for you. It's not about forcing things into being or trying to exercise too much control. The more gentle you can handle this situation with a certain sensitivity around other people's feelings or activation in this situation, the more you're going to be able to find the way through. And for you, that might be hard. You might have to really like kind of temper some of what you're feeling, because you could feel like a situation is unfair, or you're tired of somebody having too much control in this situation, calling the shots, right? But this is the approach that will help balance this out for you. Okay, one more round of this in the cut of the deck, and then I'm going to pull out another set of cards. Okay, I do feel like something is going to move forward, right? This is it's currently being balanced out currently, right? Something moving forward in a way that, you know, is not just good for the others involved, but also factors in what's best for you. I feel like this is the one piece that's been missing from the equations. Like, everybody else has been thinking about what works for them, but nobody's really considering about what you need to feel like you're getting your needs met in this situation, all right? And I feel like this imbalance is being redressed. Yes, okay. You very well could be dealing with a Scorpio in this situation. And there's somebody here who's just like, they're just like whipping a dead horse. All right. So this could be like, again, Sagittarius energy coming in. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius or something that went down in Sagittarius season. This also could be related to power dynamics, somebody wanting to have all the power in a situation, somebody trying to force their way, but it's not going to go down like that. It just won't. It can't, right? Something already got brought to a close here. And anyone who's going to try to like force their ideas onto a situation that affects more than just them, this is a group dynamic situation, they're going to find themselves on the losing end of that, right? It's just a waste of time being hung up at the crossroads, you know, with no moving forward. It's like total stagnancy. So there's a need for transformation in this situation, big time. And like I said, I also feel like you have a lot of protection on your side. It's like, no, we are either going to move forward in a totally new way, or this is done and dusted. I'm not going to continue to reiterate my point of view in this situation, because my point is valid and my point matters. And there's something that you can't yield ground on in this situation. You just absolutely cannot. And I do feel like you've had to stand up for this multiple times, and you're tired of like going over it again and again and again and again. It's like you got a couple people here who just, they're so loyal to their idea of what they think the solution is for a situation that they're not willing to give ground, even though their unwillingness to be compromising and more flexible is what's causing everything to just stay in this state of stagnancy, all right? I feel like you're getting to the other side of a really complicated situation where everybody's been at odds and you're finding a way through. But it's because you're kind of like the voice of reason, Gemini. And it's because you've been doing your own healing work and you're taking accountability for your part. Now it's time for everybody else to take accountability for their part, to breathe new life into this situation. Let's do a cut of the deck, and then I want to move on to another deck here, see what we got. Oh yeah, it's just been fights. It's been arguments. It's been a pissing contest, all right? There's just way too much going on here. It's too disruptive. This conflict needs to be quelled. It needs to be quelled quickly, all right? And I feel like you're prepared. You know, you're prepared to go, hey, you know, if I have to move forward on my own and leave you two at it, so be it. You know, I'll do that. I mean, you do have a new direction that you want to head in, and the direction you want to head in not only brings forward a sense of compassion for all the people involved in this situation, but it's also tempered with a healthy dose of forgiveness too. I think that you have a really big heart, and there's a part of you that's really trying to be the bigger person in a situation that's just been, quite frankly, really immature. All right, really immature. I don't know why Dungeons and Dragons is coming in again, but it is. This is for somebody out there. Whatever your latest strategy was with, you know, going rogue. Oh, you got aces on the competition here. Okay, bold move, bold move. I admire your spirit. All right. Good strategy you got in play. Yes, good strategy you got in play, Gemini. Even if you haven't been playing Dungeons and Dragons, okay? You know how to move something forward in a way where this new beginning can really endure. And either way, I think you're kind of like in this position where you're like, well, you know, go ahead, keep doing it your way. I'm going to do it my way. And it's almost like you're leading by example. You're the one who's going to take this leap of faith, and it's really going to pay off because I feel like you know the way through. And the proof will be in the pudding. Okay, so I admire you for going rogue. I mean, you are going rogue in regard to this situation. Like, you are breaking from the pack. You can see that the way everybody else has been going about a situation, there's no progress here. We just are going to keep coming up against the same stuck points, the same arguments, the same stagnancy. I'm going my own way. I'm taking a leap of faith. I'm trusting how I'm being guided in this situation. And you're right. It's going to pay off, okay? I think the others will come around in time. They'll see it your way, all right? But it's sort of like, here you go, Gemini. You're having to kick this off. And it may have to do with a particular communication that you need to issue that gets the ball rolling. Maybe to a particular person, right? Others may feel you're foolish to do this, or it's too risky, or maybe you should just leave it be, but you know that that's not what's needed in this situation, right? I feel compelled to pull out what I call my fairy tarot, but it's the Paulina tarot for you for clarification. Yeah, something was done in this situation that wasn't right, okay? Somebody really got betrayed. And something was unrightfully stripped from somebody that was not cool. There's been too much that's been, you know, done on the download in this situation, too much sneaking around. It's not playing fair. It's cheating at the game of life, and you're not going to stand for that. So I do feel like you're righting something that was wronged in this situation, Gemini, and you're the one who's willing to, you know, be valiant. You know, you're willing to stand up for what you believe in. I'm proud of you, Gemini. It's not always easy to do the right thing, you know, when everybody else is encouraging you to, you know, keep up with something that you know is just, it's not in alignment with what you know is true and what needs to happen here, okay? So I do feel like where you are taking that risk and you are opening up some kind of healing communication, you're taking accountability, you're trying to take a more gentle approach where others may feel like you need to be a little bit more tough. Your approach is the right approach, okay? So just trust where your heart is advising you to come from, because I do feel like you're going to open up a brand new chapter in this situation. You're finding the way through, and let them stay back there. You know, sooner or later, they're going to come around to your camp and your way of seeing things, and then they're going to want you to give them an in. Yeah, well, maybe you are the way through. Sometimes we play that role. Okay, somebody has to be brave in this situation. It feels like it's you, Gemini, right? But where you are taking the risk, it's going to pay off, right? Bold new beginning for you. Yeah, look at this. 4 of Wands. It brings you into total alignment, okay? 11-11, okay? The synchronicity coming in here. There's something you're really going to have to celebrate. You're going to feel really good about this. I love that she's holding a rose and she's smelling the rose. So yes, you know, that Fool card, you know, the Fool, the dragon had the rose in its mouth and it was a white rose. And this rose is red. So something comes into fruition, 2022 on the clock. You got just the remedy. You got just the touch in this situation to bring about a celebration that has been eluded up to this point because people have been too stuck in their positions and not willing to give any ground and work in a more harmonious way together to bring about an outcome that's good for everybody, not just a chosen few. Could have been dealing with earth sign energy in this situation. So you could have been dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It's been a little bit problematic, a little too fixed in their position. We got the World card here. All right, so there's something that you are bringing to completion here. And it's by you bringing this old cycle into completion, closing out this karmic cycle, and showing somebody, quite frankly, through education, through doing with the magician, the right way for something to be done, by alchemizing the energy and proving it, by taking the action that is very demonstrative of your growth. You are really illuminating something for others and kind of, you know, you're making them grow up a little bit. That's what I got, okay? And there is a transformation that happens here. There's a success on the other side of this and something you really have to feel proud about, right? This looks really good, Gemini. Let me do a cut of the deck here, see what we got. You also might be going on some kind of trip, just as a side note, with the World coming in with the Fool, okay? So you might have some travel plans. I think it's going to be a sweet reward, you know, to go on this trip. You're going to have a lot of fun. And this could even be a trip you're taking with another person, just to like drop in deep with them and reconnect. Yeah, you're closing off the way to people who are going to be too full of pride, too full of their ego, people who just can't like really just get down to the heart of the matter and what matters. And there's a new beginning that you're developing in another direction. We got Page of Wands here, okay? So I do feel lines of communication are opening up here. And this is what brings you into a place of balance and harmony again. Well done, okay? This could be with a Sagittarius with that Page of Wands. Also with this particular card, look at the way the energy is flowing between the two cups. It really reminds me of Leo, so there could be a Leo in this situation. Either way, I feel like there's something you have to toast here, something you have to feel proud about. And it has everything to do with the fact that you've really refined the self, you've taken accountability, you've looked at this situation clearly, you have great clarity in this situation, you're standing on it, you know your worth, and there's a beautiful outcome here. So congratulations, you're going to have something to toast to. This is a good victory, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You know, it's not easy to take a certain stance when everybody else around you has a very different idea about the correct way to handle a matter. But you're on point. You're on point, and the proof will be